Hi, and welcome to week 13. This week is lighter in terms of my video and the module links, but it's bigger in terms that I want your dual character finalized. So I have a critique. It's optional, so it's not graded, but if you want to post your projects here, if you want to give and get critique, I really want to encourage this, but not just for points, that you're actually just doing it because you want to improve. And then, of course, your dual characters, focus on what each character is doing and where the audience should focus their attention. Keep both characters alive throughout the clip. Final render, due Sunday. Submit a render and Maya file. We talked about rendering earlier in the term. I do want to have this and your final assignment rendered. So if you do have questions, let me know. I can go over just a little bit. Let me get Maya and After Effects open. While we're looking at that, I would say get references, like watch some of your favorite animated movies, shows, games, and start looking at the characters that we're not focused on. You can also look at the camera movements, and I think this is a really good example.
I appreciate you coming down here.
This is from The Incredibles, by the way.
I appreciate you coming down here, Mrs. Parr.
What's this about? Has Dash done something wrong?
He's a disruptive influence, and he openly mocks me in front of the class.
Oops.
Look, puts I know it's you. He puts thumbtacks on my stool.
You saw him do this?
Well, no, actually not.
Oh, then how do you know it was him?
So we can watch this whole clip, but just look at the breakdown, okay? Character walks in. We have these two that were talking to each other, so they turn their heads as she opens the door.
I appreciate you.
There are blinks. There's arc to their head turn. You can see this character, his head goes down and then up around. You can also see that his shoulders move. His hands are in fists, so he's pretty stiff, but we still get shoulder movement with it.
I appreciate you coming down here, Mrs. Parr.
Now here, we've got both characters in the shot. We're supposed to kind of be watching her because she's the one moving, she's the one talking, but pay attention to Dash as well.
What's this about?
Oh my goodness.
Has Dash done something wrong?
He's a disruptive influence.
What's this about? Has Dash done something wrong?
He's a disruptive influence.
So you can see we're not drawn to Dash,
He's a disruptive.
but his eyes are moving, his expression
He's
changes.
a disruptive influence, and he openly mocks
This
me in
guy
front
is
of the
moving in his
class.
chair.
Look, I know it's you. He puts thumbtacks on my stool.
You saw him do this?
Well, no, actually not.
Oh, then how do you know it was him?
I hit a camera, and this time I've got.
So see, like blinks, head movements, all that. When you are doing your dual character, my guess is you're going to have one character that's doing a bigger action. The other one needs to pay attention, and you need to think about the timing. When are they reacting?
See? See? Oh, you don't see it? He moves! Right there! Wait! Right there! Right as I'm sitting down! I don't know how he does it. But there's no tack on my stool before he moves, and after he moves, there's a tack. Coincidence? I think not!
Bernie.
Go!
Okay, so just thinking of, again, characters looking at each other, what motion. Now, your scene is going to probably have two people talking to each other and exchanging, back and forth. And I did say not to edit cameras. Again, we'll be doing cameras with your final. But this really is just a nice example. And then, look at some things that you, again,
On every
enjoy.
vacation at a verbal home, there's someone like you.
And look at, mass or crowd animations just to get ideas. And I do want you guys to have fun with this assignment. I want you to exaggerate things. I want you to think about a new take on an action. Remember that A to X to B theory that we talked about. So breathing, eye movements, we're focused on this character. Okay. So look at some examples, get excited, time yours out, act it out. You know, I'm not requiring that you do any sort of recording, but I promise you it will be more successful if you plan it out, if you time it out. Because, I mean, you've got the audio, so you know what needs to happen in the certain amount of audio time, but getting down to kind of the nitty-gritty and what you think works best in that timing. You know, again, if I'm just going to say hello, I could stand still and say hello. I could wave my hand like crazy, really fast, put it away super fast. Again, think about your principles, your exaggeration. All right. So, I've got my animation. I need to set up my camera. You know, remember, you will be animating, so create camera from view. You will have already done that. This is your, you know, dual cam, whatever it is. So when we go into our render settings, we have to give it a name. So dual character. You can do JPEG, you can do TIFF, you can do Targa, whatever you want. Name.number.extension. So dual character.1.jpg. Leave the padding at 4. Start frame 1, end frame, whatever yours is. I'm just going to do 40 for the sake of this and recording. Now, you want to make sure you're using your renderable camera. You'll either see both and you'll need to hit the garbage can on perspective, or yours might look like this and you need to make sure you have dual cam. No matter what it is, you should only have one camera that's renderable and just that it's dual cam. 1920 by 1080. Close. Your camera, again, should have been already set up, but make sure everything is good to go. You're going to go to the rendering drop-down, render, batch render. It's going to get started. At the very bottom right, there's a white button that looks like it has a semicolon in it. That's your script editor. And you can see the percentage of rendering and where it's saving. Yours will save in the same location as mine. It's just going to, depending on your computer, you know, if you're in the lab, you can always search for your files if that's easier, or you can navigate through. So for instance, mine is documents, my project's default images here, or again, you could search dual character, and you can find it that way. Generally, what's easiest is if you make a new folder on your desktop. New folder, dual character, and then you can put them all in here. So I've got 1 through 40. I'm going to drag them into my dual character folder. Nope. Okay. So now we're going to go into After Effects, new project, new composition, 1920 by 1080. We don't want to lock it. 1920 by 1080. You can see that's the standard. 24 frames per second. Now mine was only 40 frames, so that's, you know, less than 2 seconds. So I'll just put 2, because remember, hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds. And hit OK. And then we're going to go to File, Import File. And then we can just navigate Dual. Grab the first file only and make sure Import JPEG Sequence is on. Hit Open. Now by default it sets it to 30 frames per second and we don't want that. So right mouse click, Interpret Footage, Main, and change it to 24. Then hit OK. We'll click and drag it down. Looks great. I can move this time slider to the end of my clip here, and I can look over here and see this is 1 second and 16 millisecond. So I can go to Composition, Composition Settings, and I can change this to 1:16. Now my clip is the full length of my video, and I'm going to go to Composition, Add to Media Encoder Queue. I'm going to close Maya while I'm doing this. I don't know if your computer can handle more, but mine generally cannot. You got to give it a second. You can hear my computer taking off. I try to leave my video playing so you can see how long and you can expect the same. I think Adobe did an update. Alright, so then we just have to give it another second. It'll add it to the queue automatically. You will have your audio as well. So when you bring in your animation, that's why it's extra important to make sure it's 24 frames per second. Then you'll just do File, Import File, and grab that WAV file that you had in Maya, and you'll just drag it down underneath. You'll hit spacebar to kind of preview. If your timing is off, generally it's because this frame rate isn't set. And you also want to make sure in Maya, right mouse click on your time slider and go to frame rate and make sure that it is real time. Okay, real time is 24 frames per second. The other options have to deal with special effects and things like that where we take each frame into account to render the next, and the speed can kind of change. Okay, if you have any questions with that, feel free to email me at any point. Anyway, right here we'll go down to H264. We'll leave this middle option alone, and we'll click on the words here. And that's where you can call it whatever you want. Save it on your desktop, wherever you want. Save, and then hit play. You'll see it render down here. Okay, you do want to leave a little bit of time to render. So don't be doing your rendering at Sunday at 11 o'clock at night. Try to get it in a little bit earlier. Let me know if you have any questions. I am here. I'm here to critique. I am here. I will try to get your grades in earlier in the week so that you have plenty of time to continue on Really think about that A to X to B theory, adding your own personal touch. You know, I've seen you guys animate. I know you guys understand how to do it, and now I want to see that you're having a little bit more fun with it. You can see it's rendering down here. It's all set. Dual character. Boop. Alrighty, so have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you all soon.